Hey everyone, and welcome to the Wide World of Wrestling podcast. We are here for our WWF Monday Night Raw live reaction. We are going to be going over episodes 7 and 8. Last night we did 5 and 6. Tonight 7 and 8. To make up for last week, not doing it Saturday, so we're doing it Wednesday and Thursday. Our typical days of doing this is Thursdays and Saturdays, so don't get used to this schedule. Uh, our normal times Thursdays and Saturdays for these, but yeah, tonight we'll be doing 7 and 8. It's the road to WrestleMania, Caesar's Palace, pretty much. Uh, at the end of the last episode, it was Hogan and Beefcake setting up their tag team match with Money Inc. So it's WrestleMania season around this time period, 1993. But yeah, if you guys would like to watch along with us, some of these are on Netflix. I'm not for sure which ones are or not. But if you'd like to watch along with us, the website where we're watching on is One Max. You can go on Google, put in One Max. Go into the collections tab, go to 1993, and then we're on episode 7. So that's what we'll be watching tonight, 7 and 8. Since each episode's only an hour, makes sense to do 2 episodes. But yeah, I'm ready when you are.
All right, press play. Oh, hold on.
Oop,
I got another pop up. Hold on 1 second.
that's another thing on these sites. A lot of pop-ups on. They make you feel like you're on a different kind of site.
Yeah. All right, I think I'm ready.
All right.
All right, press play. Damn it, did it again. Fuck. Sorry, folks. Okay, I think I'm ready this time. All right, press play.
All right,
All
here
right,
we go.
got it this time. That's attack. Vince is pretty hyped tonight, isn't
It's WrestleMania season. He's got to be a little bit extra, sell some extra tickets,
he?
and to sell Raw. This is still a very new show
Yeah.
at this time. So opening match is Bret the Hitman Hart. I think it's his first time ever wrestling on Raw
I think so.
because I don't think he was on the first 6 episodes. I don't think he actually wrestled in a match. Is this for the title or non-title? It's
I think
Fatu.
it's non-title. Head Stringer Fatu, aka Rakishi.
That's a fabulous.
Oh God, they still have Rob Bartlett there. I think eventually Vince gets tired of him and boots him away. No, I think what it is that Rob Bartlett got tired of doing it because he didn't like it in the first place. It was just a paying gig.
He didn't need to be there anyways.
Right.
Wearing the famous sunglasses or the glasses that he wears to a kid in the front row. That's something that Bret Hart would do every show.
Yeah.
One lucky kid in the front row would get those pink glasses.
And they go right into a match too.
Yeah. We didn't get to see the ending of last week's episode. Wait, I thought they were going to show us the ending of last week's episode of The Undertaker and
They never did. See.
who was the match? It was The Undertaker and who?
I think it was
Uh,
Taker.
I
Trying to
know,
remember.
I know it was The Undertaker, but they said that they'd show us the ending next week, and I don't see it.
They'll probably get around to it during the show at some point.
I don't care to see it now.
Say, folks, this is what you missed last week.
Now living in a trailer park.
That's El Paso. Luckily, he's not going to be there. Rob Bartlett's not going to be there too much longer. Luckily, I think he's only
Yeah,
there for like I don't know, maybe I'm not sure how much longer they keep. Not too much longer. I forget how many more episodes he's in.
yeah. The next few streams we're on, he's not going to be on there much longer.
I think after WrestleMania, he's gone. I'm pretty sure after WrestleMania,
He just wanted to stay for the WrestleMania season.
probably.
Those kids keep running back and forth when they go to the hard cam.
Yeah,
They keep. I don't know what kind of sign. Well, I don't see them now, but every time they go to the camera side, the hard cam, then they jump over and show their sign.
you see, I've been to a taping before, and I know you've been to a taping too. And
Oh,
like the hard cam is like this big red light, and like whenever they're recording, there's a big red light you can see. So usually fans that are sitting on the hard cam side, they can tell whenever they're being recorded. There's a big light. There's usually a light, a little bit of red light or something. Or usually it's not really that big, but you can notice it.
yeah. Because back then they didn't have Titantrons, so you couldn't see. Because nowadays you can see the Titantron and then you can see the whole show just
Yeah,
by looking up at the. But back then, uh, there was no hard cam. There was a hard cam, but there wasn't a Titantron.
right. It's like it,
WCW, yeah,
it's like if you ever gone to like see like in a comic perform on stage or anybody that sings or whatever, if you pay attention to the back of the room, there's always like a little light or something that goes off when it's time for them to get off the stage. And that's kind
yeah,
of like a signal. Like it's the same thing with hard cam when they're recording Raw or SmackDown. Uh, the red light is to let them know that hey, we're live. You know, we're on TV now. Like usually when they go to commercial, that red light's off.
yeah. So like back then, I guess when that red light went off, that's when those two fans kept. I don't see them now.
Probably got told to sit down
Yeah,
because the ushers will get on your ass if you don't sit down somewhere. I've seen ushers just kick people out because they decide to go from like the back row all the way to like row three, and just because people leave doesn't mean you can go and sit in their seat. Ushers are gonna
no,
come out and be like, "Hey, where's your ticket?"
yeah. I actually had something happen to me when I went to an AEW show. Uh, we got floor seats, and in front of us was this guy and his kid, and his kid was like sitting, like he was standing on the seat, so I couldn't
Mhm.
see anything. And then I asked him, could he tell his kid to sit down? And he said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And then I said, "Well, fine then." Then I went to a security guard and I told him
Yeah,
what was going on, and then he made him sit down.
they'll do it. That's usually what I do too. If there's an issue, the first thing I do is I either get an usher or a security guard. It's like
He's
usually when I go to the show, there's usually somebody sitting in my seat when I get there. Instead of getting into an altercation, like I would like if the younger me would have said something stupid, you know what I'm saying? But the older me, I would get like an usher and be like, "Can you tell this young man to get out of my seat, please?" You know, and if they're irate, the security come right then, and
see,
it happens every show.
like I asked the dude nicely, could he tell his kid to sit down? But he said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And then fine, I'll go to once I go to security, he will sit down because you can't block the view of people trying to see the show.
Probably trying to look cool in front of his kid. Nobody's
Because
gonna boss me around. I'm the big bad dad here.
I don't know what his deal was, but
I've seen fathers show off for their kids.
because I wasn't the only one complaining, but because when his kid was sitting on the seat, like he was standing up on the seat, so everyone was complaining, but I was the only one willing to do something about it because I paid high dollar for floor seats and
Yeah, those are expensive.
can't even see. I got that stuff quickly, and then I think Chris was with me, and he said, "Connor, don't do that." I said, Heck no. I pay these seats. I'm not gonna just let them run all over me.
I would have did the same thing, dude. If I paid that much money to sit on the floor, I'm gonna enjoy every cent of that money. I'm gonna enjoy every cent of that money. So you've got a kid, shut him up, sit him down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. After the security guard came, he he didn't sit back up all night. I think he got scared. They got scared because
Yeah, that
they will throw you out. Uh,
yeah, they will. They are not afraid to do it. They love doing it. In fact, they signed up just to kick people out. Most of them sign up just to kick people out because they get to rough them up a little bit sometimes,
yeah,
depending on what they did. If they're in there starting shit with everybody, yeah, you best believe a security guard's probably gonna rough you up a little bit before they throw you out.
this match is actually going longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's a good match too. Oh, I'm
Deshaun,
surprised Brett didn't take that with his chest. Hey,
yeah,
Deshaun.
I think Bret Hart's bleeding from his chest. Yeah, thanks for watching, Deshaun. We appreciate it. Davis, Bret the Hitman Hart. Yes, Bret the Hitman Hart is in the opening match against Fatu, which most famously known as Rakishi. Oh, he got busted open.
Yeah, I see that now.
He got his nose messed up. Thought his chest was bleeding, but it was actually coming from his nose. He probably really did break his. He probably busted his nose or something.
Because he had issues with his nose before the match started. Because there was issues with it already. I think that this is just busted it back open again. Doesn't look too bad though, but I don't. It doesn't look broken because they did some close-ups. It didn't look broken.
Power driver.
Ooh, nice power driver.
That should be it.
Yeah,
He kicked out.
yeah, Davis. That's right. That's rare you saw blood at this time,
Where does he?
unless it
Yeah,
was done the hard way.
like the only way you'd see, like it wouldn't be planted. If someone was bleeding, it was because something actually happened and they started bleeding.
Yeah.
It wasn't like today in lots of matches they determine if you're going to bleed or not. But
Mhm.
sometimes if you get hit the wrong way, just bleed. There's nothing preventing you from bleeding.
And at this time, and they still do this too. At this time, if you bled the hard way in the match, they'd use that. They'd throw that in. They'd throw an audible into the whole thing. You know.
Oh, look, that hurt. When Bret Hart fought to Irish whipped him, and he hit that turnbuckle pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'd be out of it just by that, because those ropes and those turnbuckles hurt.
hmm
Another headbutt.
Headbutt. There's a wrestling lore that Samoans have the hardest heads. And
Yeah,
that's why whenever you headbutt them, they don't even sell it. You notice any Samoan in any match, if you hit headbutt them, they don't sell it. They never will.
yeah. I noticed
Roman Reigns never sells headbutts either.
like Jey Uso,
hmm
Jacob Fatu. They never. They finally got up. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
yeah, right in the playmakers.
Ooh, suplex. That's not going to be enough. What?
Ah,
He didn't even kick out. I don't
he did kind of moved a little bit, but he didn't kick out all the way. Oh,
bulldog.
that was a good bulldog.
Was I supposed? This is a pretty good opening match.
Hell yeah.
I didn't.
Oh.
I would never expect a Bret Hart and Fatu match to be this good.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
it's funny that Bret Hart's going against Yokozuna at WrestleMania, and he's going against one of his family members now. But nobody knew that during these times because they thought Yokozuna was from China.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Now here comes the other head shrinker.
It did twin magic. Holy shit.
They're gonna switch out.
He kicks out.
That's funny.
You switch the thing.
You got the wrong guy, brother. Oh man, you got the wrong guy, brother.
Oh man.
Oh man. That was funny. Oh. Oh, there goes Alpha.
That was a good bump for Alpha.
Sharpshooter. Now this is it. He's got the one tied up in the rope. Alpha's out. It was basically 3-on-1 handicap match. Why are you counting?
Why is he counting? What the fuck is he doing?
That didn't make no sense.
Why did he start counting? I don't get.
That was
He was
probably
God.
I've never seen that happen before. He Archie, thanks for watching. I believe that's how you pronounce your name.
Welcome.
Definitely appreciate everyone watching. I've been a wrestling fan for years, and I've never seen a referee pin on a submission. I've never seen that.
That just blew my mind. What the hell was that? He jumps over, and you think he's gonna be like, "What do you say? What do you say?" And he just goes to start pin. Like, dude, what are you doing?
And it was Earl Hebner out of all referees.
Yes.
You wouldn't think that he would make that kind of
That was hilarious.
How does that happen? How does that happen? Ugh. Oh,
I guess he got caught up in the heat of the moment. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
I mean, I've had those moments where you're in the moment, like you're in the heat of the moment, and you're just acting on instinct, and you make a mistake. But I've never made
probably what it was.
I've never made that big of a mistake though.
Oh, that was funny.
But I guess I don't know.
That was good. That was so funny.
That was a good first match though.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Never would have thought Bret Hart and Fatu would have had a good match. Because their styles are very different. Rikishi and Bret Hart, they got completely different styles. This is the match that we had set up last week, pretty much. Well, over the last 2 weeks, I've been building towards this little tag match. I don't care who wins. Well, to me, I would rather IRS and Ted DiBiase win. I mean, Hogan's leaving after WrestleMania anyways. So
yeah. Yeah, but that WrestleMania had Hulk Hogan's name all over it. It was just
yeah, especially that ending.
That's probably the worst match in WrestleMania history, right there. And that's not her hyperbole. That's probably the absolute worst. The absolute worst match in WrestleMania history was Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez. I defy anybody to tell me an even worse match than that as far as WrestleMania.
Yeah,
you cannot. I cannot.
That was a solid. Yeah, that was a pretty good match. That was a good first match. Sunday, April the 4th. Who?
Oh God, no. Joey Buttafuoco, folks. Who this is something I wish I didn't know. Joey Buttafuoco was a guy who was out of Long Island, New York, and he happened to have been. He was messing around with. I don't know how to put this. He was messing around with a girl that was a lot younger than he was, by the name of Amy Fisher. Amy Fisher fell madly in love with this dude to the point to where she went batshit crazy and pulled up to the guy's house and shot his wife in the face.
Oh,
His
wow.
wife survived. I forget his wife's name. His wife survived, and Joey Buttafuoco ended up going to prison for a number of years, and so did Amy Fisher. And they both got released a number of years ago. Amy Fisher does adult films now, uh, and Joey Buttafuoco is I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is these days, but I know Amy Fisher does adult entertainment these days. But yeah, Davis remembers.
So was this?
But yeah, I don't know why Mean Gene felt the need to mention that. But anyway,
So was this before that happened or after that happened?
this was after that happened.
So like all that already happened.
Yeah, this happened around the same year, about 92, 90, well, I think it happened in 93 when she shot Joey Buttafuoco's ex-wife.
So this is was in 1993. So either happened before, a little bit before, or
I'm pretty sure it happened before, but it was in the same year, I think. But it happened before, and it was in the news by the time Mean Gene's talking about it, it's all in the news. And Joey Buttafuoco had been all that stuff had happened. He had been sentenced and all that stuff. I think they were like this is like right after the trial, stuff like that. But yeah, I remember that stuff. I don't. That's funny that Mean Gene mentioned it.
wow. There's Don't the Clown.
Somebody takes it. They do.
Let me look at when that happened.
Because I'm pretty sure that was around the same time. Because that was in the early '90s when all that happened. When that went down. Because they both had got locked up for the situation. Why do they give Coco Beware some church, some of that church jubilee music?
So it says it happened in 1992.
Yeah,
So
so that was the year before.
so it already happened,
Yeah.
and he still
So
mentioned
but
it.
yeah, so by that time, the trial had already happened, and Amy and Joey both were in prison by this time.
I'm surprised me and Gene Oakland mentioned that then.
But that was a Vince thing. Vince told him to do it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
I
hilarious.
because like I remember watching a documentary of the Monday Night Wars, and they were trying to get ratings, and they were like discussing like hot topics or like controversial things around the world, like politics and scandals and uh,
Hmm.
like random things. They would do that, and Vince wanted to try to get a ratings pop out of it, to try to get people from outside of the wrestling world to watch Raw.
Yeah,
So that they thought by talking about other things going on, like what's hot in the news, I guess they thought that was gonna. Nowadays, that won't fly.
I think they had an idea of getting that one. I forget his name, but they had a one dude that they had an idea of getting that one dude that got his stuff chopped off by his ex-wife. They thought about
Oh
bringing
well.
him in. something for Val Venus because this is when Val Venus was there. They
Oh,
had an idea of bringing, I forget his name, but his he had cheated on his wife and his wife cut his thing off and threw it in the on the highway, threw it out of her window on the highway. She did this, dude, and they found it and they put it back on.
well,
But yeah, that happened. But they wanted to bring him in for had something to do with Val Venus, but that never happened. Thank God.
that sounds like something they do in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, because it was right whenever they did the choppy choppy or pee pee with Val Venus is right in the middle of that Attitude Era, and they
With
had ideas.
Sonny
Yeah,
Unknown. Yeah.
and they had ideas of bringing him in, bringing I forget his name, something Bobbitt, but they had ideas of bringing him in to have something to do with Val Venus, but it never happened. Thank God it didn't happen.
You need to go sit down.
What is he doing?
Fat Elvis.
Please, please put him in a sleeper hold.
How you going over, man? How you doing, man? Hey, man. I gotta talk to you, man. I really gotta talk to you. You got a cheeseburger or something there?
Get a cheeseburger. Go for a big old steak.
Something's gonna happen.
Is it a pie?
He's got a bigger one in there.
Yeah, I knew it. He had a pie.
Turn around.
He got him good with that one though. He got him pretty good.
Yeah, he got a good.
The only downside to having a pie being thrown at you is you got to wash it out of your hair. Everything else is fun. You get to eat it all off your face. It's pretty fun. I've been a part of a pie fight. Those are pretty awesome.
Yeah. That'd be kind of difficult getting it out of your hair and stuff.
But other than that, it's a blast. It's weapons you can eat.
John Wayne Bobbitt is the guy's name.
John Wayne Bobbitt, that's who it is. They
John Wayne.
had, yeah, they wanted to bring him in to have something with the angle with Val Venus, and it never happened. So
With
thank goodness.
John Wayne Bobbitt. Phone
I think he
9.
ended up doing adult entertainment too for a little while.
He was a former U.S.
I don't know
Marine.
why these people. Yeah, he was a Marine.
When his then wife, Lorena, I'm not going to read all this, but following a 9-hour surgery. Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, they put it back on.
Maybe he shouldn't have cheated on his
I
wife.
mean, as a man, you're not gonna let that go. That's one thing you're not gonna let go in your life. It's been said that this was Vince's favorite character that he created at the time, because if he was a wrestler, he would have been the $1 million man.
Yeah,
He
that
said this
fits him.
himself.
I mean, that's the perfect kind of character to come up with. $1 million man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And you look at Vince and and what we know about him, you could totally see Vince McMahon in the $1 million man.
Oh yeah.
Money INC.
But yeah, I guess it's a valuable lesson not to cheat on your wife. Maybe don't do that. Um, Actually, he was on an
Yeah,
episode
he was on an episode. Yeah. He was
August.
never a part of the angle. They wanted to make him a part of that whole angle with Val Venus, and that never happened. But
I
he
guess
did make an
John.
appearance on the show.
I knew that. John Wayne, WWE.
And the thing is, if you look at Mr. McMahon, the character later on in the future, you can see the $1 million man in Mr. McMahon. His
I think
obsession with money and wanting to get it away from people, and
I think they actually did something with John Wayne Bobbitt and Val Venus. Uh,
oh, they did. I thought they canceled that whole angle. I'm not sure if they ever went through with it,
yeah, I looked it up. John Wayne Bobbitt
but I
WWE
knew that
Raw.
he was a rent that they had.
Yeah, it shows a match card, and it's got Val Venus and John Wayne Bobbitt joint press conference.
Yeah,
It's got one of them
because there was
when
this
they're in
whole
the,
thing they're supposed to do, and then never, and like the whole, because there was supposed to be this whole big angle from it, and that never really happened.
there's one picture. There's just one woman, Val Venus, John Wayne Bobbitt, and Jerry Lawler, all in the ring. Maybe they did like a little segment of it, and it was supposed to go longer, but it didn't go longer than what it was supposed to. But sometimes they'll bring somebody in, and then they'll want to have the feud go longer, but it's just a
Yeah,
thing.
that's exactly kind of what it was. It's like he was meant to have something to do with the storyline, but it never really kind of meshed in together, I guess.
Never took off.
But I do know he had made an appearance, but it wasn't anything that went anywhere like it was supposed to.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. There's a lot of feuds in wrestling history that they try to get them started, but it just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But that choppy choppy thing with Val Venus, that was pretty hot back
USA, man. Back I remember then back then USA they had they had a little talk with Mr. McMahon about certain things that he couldn't do. And like really the fact of the matter is once it's on live television, the network really can't do anything because it's live at that point. That's why after like things that after the Super Bowl incident with Janet Jackson when her nipple flashed when she flashed her nipple, they started having like 10-second delays on television shows that were live because anything that happened within a 10 seconds they can go back and edit, which is why a lot of TV that's live isn't typically isn't live, so they usually have like a 10-second delay or a 15-second delay. And that's because of what happened at the Super Bowl with Janet Jackson mainly.
then. I know DX did something in the Attitude Era, and then USA Network got pissed about it. And then
Oh
they had
yeah,
Shawn, and
they
then they had,
moomed the crowd.
and then the very next week they had Shawn Michaels and Triple H like apologizing to USA Network, and then they did the exact opposite of what USA told them to do. Like
They were
he,
cursing the whole thing.
yes,
You should hear the uncensored. I don't know if you ever heard the uncensored version of that, but it is hilarious. They're throwing out all kinds of f bombs and everything. It's great. And to hear Shawn Michaels cussing like that is awesome.
what's
And they say, "Watch your fucking mouth." I'm like, "I'm fucking sorry."
what's John Wayne Bobbitt doing these days? I don't have a clue what he's doing.
If
I
he's
don't know if he's
safe,
still.
if he's smart, he'll be on ducked away in his crib somewhere. I don't know. Who knows what he's doing these days? But I know he's still intact. I know that he still has his parts from what I know. He got it all sewed back on and he's good to go.
Yeah.
Because he went on to do adult entertainment with it. So I guess he's living okay with despite what happened to him.
See, Money Inc. just demonstrated how long a segment should be. It wasn't too long and it wasn't too short. It was nice, sweet, and
Right.
got to the point, and then that was it.
Exactly. I didn't see nothing wrong with that segment at all. They're pushing the match.
He's having health issues. Had all his toes cut off. Oh wow,
Really?
had all his
Wow.
toes cut off.
Must be diabetic. I know a lot of people going through diabetes that lose their toes and their limbs. My grandmother, she had diabetes. She didn't lose any limbs, but she was always on top of her diabetes. But I'm pretty sure it sounds like he has diabetes or something. He lost his
Yeah,
toes.
it always. Yeah, that's tough. Hers the
The
narcissist.
narcissist.
Hey,
I'm
the one
glad they
dude.
dropped that narcissist character. It was kind of cheesy.
Who's that supposed to be?
I don't know. I think that's probably somebody Lex Luger was fucking at the time. I don't know. Probably his wife.
There's a stupid mirror.
I mean, the old Green Bay Packer used to get around in his day. Don't be fooled.
I'm afraid the part, man.
I'll give him a little credit. His Elvis is kind of funny. I'll give him that. He sounds like the Elvis of the later Elvis.
Yeah. PJ Walker.
And David says hopefully he'll be okay. Yeah, I feel for him, man, because it sounds like I said, it sounds like he's going through like diabetes or something. Because I know a lot of people that go through that same thing, and I've had a friend that I went to school with who lost a leg from diabetes. So I know. It sounds like if he's losing toes or he got them cut off, that's usually what they do. They'll amputate them.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a real short match.
I mean, look at the size difference. That's hilarious, though. Lex Luger is just hovering over this dude.
Um, he is more. Luger never fit in WWF. In my opinion, he's always been a WCW guy. I
I agree
agree.
with you, honestly. Yeah, I agree.
Now, I think that uh, when Hogan left, Luger was who they were going to be. Like that's who they tried to push as their main guy
Yeah.
because the Lex Express, like it hit pretty. It kind of hit pretty quickly. Um,
Hmm.
it was a pretty popular thing, but he only stayed with WWF for maybe a year or two. But
Yeah.
I think his peak was in WCW. Uh,
Yeah, they put the
prob-
title on in WCW.
yeah, I feel like he was bigger in WCW probably because uh, I mean WWF was in the process of building new stars, and I
Hmm.
mean I feel like the biggest moment he ever had in WWF was him beating Yokozuna, but not actually winning the title. That was
Right.
that was probably his biggest moment. I don't think he ever won the WW. I don't think he won the world title in WWE. Did he? I don't think he did.
No.
I know he did it in WCW. He won quite a few titles in WCW. Uh, but yeah, I agree. I think Lex Luger was he was definitely he was definitely better in WCW. Like certain guys are better in one company than the other. Like Mark Merrow, I think he's kind of fair on both sides. Uh, I think Mark he was Johnny be bad in WCW. I thought he did really good in WCW, and he did pretty good in WWF.
Hmm.
But Jericho, I think he was better in WWF than
Yeah.
WCW because WCW just wanted to use him for be a jobber. And he got
True.
tired of it, so he went to WWF. Uh, yeah, certain guys are better in certain companies. Uh,
Here's
but
a little known fact that you probably didn't know about Lex Luger. The U.S. title that they have today, it's a modified title that they use in WCW because they combined them whenever I forget who was a cruiserweight at that time, but no, the U.S. at that time. But Lex Luger and still to this day is the longest reigning U.S. champion. He's had the longest reign. I think his whole reign was like 523 days with the U.S. title.
Oh well.
Excuse me. But yeah, to this day, nobody's topped that record as far as the U.S. championship title. He's had the longest reign of them, which is actually pretty impressive. Nobody ever talks about it though.
This was the WCW US title.
Hmm.
I know WCW had a lot of titles
Yeah.
because they signed so many people that they had to create more titles. They had a hardcore title, they had a lightweight title, cruiserweight title. Like they had so many people that they had to create more titles.
Yeah, I remember when Luger won the big gold belt, man. When he won the heavyweight championship, dude. Me and my brothers, we lost our shit because we were all Lex Luger marks. We loved them. But when we were kids, we were always torture racking each other. That's all we did. And when he finally won it, dude, we went crazy. We lost our shit, dude. We went out in the backyard, started wrestling. That was a good night when he won the title. It was on Nitro, I think. I think it was on Nitro. But that's one of the things that we always wanted to see was Luger get that championship title. And we didn't get to see it in WWF, but that night watching WCW when he won that title, that was like a nice bookend to everything. You know, watching them from the day he stepped in and when he finally won that title, that was cool. That story, the chase for the title was Lex Luger was always a great story.
Yeah. Luger was one of my favorites too. I didn't live through any of his matches, but uh, going back and watching all of his best matches and stuff, all time he's easily one of the best.
Mhm.
Exactly. I feel like the Steiners never fit in WWF. Neither did Flair in his first run. They were. Yeah, I feel like Flair. Just from what we've seen of him on Raw, like he was in like some of the first few episodes of Raw.
Mhm.
When Raw first started, I feel like compared that to his 1995 run in WCW when Nitro first started, Flair definitely was better in WCW. Uh,
Yeah.
Probably because they was doing the Four Horsemen thing with Arn Anderson and Flair was with all them.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, Steiners as well. I think the Steiners as a tag team, they definitely fit better in WCW. Um, because when I think of the Steiner brothers, I think of WCW. I just always
Me
have.
too. Yeah.
Like certain guys,
I think of WCW and I think of a lot of their stuff they did in Japan. They used to kill in
uh,
Japan.
certain wrestlers, like I used to watch like the old VHS tapes of WCW, and the Steiners would always be on there.
Mm.
Luger was the best U.S. champion, in my opinion, is 89. Heel run, underrated.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with you. He's to this day he's still probably the best U.S. champion that's ever been.
But Luger, U.S. title.
That dude looks like the freaking what's his name? The guy who used to have all the big cats. I forget his name, but he's in prison now. The dude with the mullet, with the blonde mullet. I forget his name, but he used to have all the big cats, tigers and
Oh,
shit.
I know you're talking about that Tiger Lee or whatever his Tiger.
The Tiger King. That
Yeah,
Tiger King. He looks just like
yeah.
him.
Yeah, Lex Luger holds the record for the longest time he's U.S. champion heavyweight. Uh,
Mhm.
his lasting reign was 523 days. Uh,
Yep.
but he held the belt 5 times. And if you combine the 5 title reigns all together, he held it for 950 days.
Wow.
Almost
Wow.
1,000.
That's pretty cool. Because I didn't even think about his combined title reigns too with that other title with that huge title reign he already has. That's huge. I didn't
I
even
wonder,
realize with the combined.
I wonder what Roman Reigns' combined world title days would be.
Hmm.
He's already got a 1,000-day reign. there. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Steiners were really good.
Steiners. Hell yeah.
I think I think the Steiners did. I think they were better in WCW, but any company they went to, they were one of the top tag teams, whether it be WWF, WCW, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Hmm.
I think wherever they went, they were immediately one of the best tag teams. Um,
I used to see
and
a
other,
lot of New Japan matches, and like they're and like the thing is in New Japan with their New Japan matches, the Steiners were more violent and they were more, I guess, with more intent, you can say. And like Scott Steiner would pull out the Steiner screwdriver, and the thing is, he would only do that stuff in Japan and sometimes in WCW. But I think he probably would pull it out every once in a while in WWF. But when he did the Steiner screwdriver, that was a move to see.
they're gonna crush these dudes.
Frankensteiner,
Oh,
that was a nice one.
I think
He
that's
made it
actually.
look so easy too, man. It's crazy.
I think the guy that he just did that Frankensteiner on.
Hmm.
I think that was actually Gilbert.
You're probably right, because Gilbert did have long hair at one point in time.
But before he was Gilbert, I don't know. That might not be him, but
And
I don't
Davis,
know.
yeah, a lot of them did go to WCW. It was around the same time, around '94, because that's when the Exodus started. It was around '94, '95, and like that's whenever the steroid stuff started coming up. And that's when they changed a lot of their content was WWF, whereas in the past it was all about big huge guys. And then whenever the whole steroid stuff started with the trial, they kind of eased up on it, and like they started letting people like Bret Hart be the champion because he has more of his physique isn't that of someone you can tell that does steroids. They wanted their image to be different, and that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, around first Hogan leaves.
Hmm.
Uh, but Hogan was supposed to be going on that show that we talked about last. I forget what the show was called. A Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise.
Something That's what he was supposed to be doing, but that definitely did not. It wasn't the only thing he did. When WCW was in Disney, Eric
Mhm.
Bischoff went over on the set, and he convinced Hogan to sign. But once Hogan left,
Mhm.
Savage left, uh, then Lex Luger left, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Steiners, Nasty
Yeah.
Boys. Uh,
And as a businessman, you can't blame, thinking as a businessman would, I wouldn't blame Eric Bischoff for getting the talent that he got. He needed to do it. That's something that he needed to do to keep WCW on, afloat. He was smart enough to get some of the top stars from his competitor. That's smart. I mean, if you ask me, that's smart.
he got the and that's not even counting Ric Flair, which Flair went over to WCW before Nitro even started.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, that was the end of the seventh episode.
that was a good episode, man. That was really good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that Fatu and Bret Hart match. That was good.
yeah, that was probably the best match on the card. Uh, their ECW stuff. Were the Steiners in ECW?
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
they were
Steiners
in.
were in ECW for a time. They did kill in ECW. Oh man, they were awesome. Yeah, if I were you, I'd go out of your way to look up some of their ECW stuff. It's really good stuff. The tag team work, and I think they had a match with the Eliminators at one point. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, they did some good stuff in ECW because I think the Eliminators were tag team champions for a long time in ECW. That was Saturn and forget Saturn and I forget the other guy's name.
Uh, yeah, they were in ECW in the summer of '95. After leaving the WWF, they worked several dates for the promotion, bringing in their high impact. So they didn't really stay in ECW long
Yeah, yeah. And I think about
because
that time, I think Perry Saturn had went to WCW. So he wasn't there with the Eliminators. I don't think so. I could be wrong because I know him and Raven left around the same time.
Yeah. Says okay, so maybe I was wrong. Um, so they left WWF in 1995. The Steiners went to ECW in the summer of '95. They
Hmm.
left ECW and went to WCW on March 11th, 1996. Between leaving ECW in late '95 and debuting with WCW in 1996, he wrestled full time in Japan Pro Wrestling. Uh, I wonder if they wrestled for New Japan and WCW at the same time. Because didn't I think New Japan and uh,
Had a working relationship.
yeah, because they did.
Probably.
So they wrestled for pretty much all the main ones back in these days. They wrestled for WWF, WCW, ECW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, so they did a 6-man tag with Taz. That sounds pretty sick. I might have to go. I might have to go on my way to go to try to find that. That sounds awesome.
Yes,
Because I do know they were in ECW. I just don't remember. I just don't remember what they did.
so they've been pretty much all over. I, if I had to say their best run out of any promotion, it'd probably be WCW. That's probably their best.
Yeah, I agree.
That's probably their best tag
And I
work.
agree. The Eliminators are underrated. I agree with that 100%. One of the best tag teams that ECW ever produced was the Eliminators. Very underrated and seldom talked about, but damn good tag team.
Sounds like a good match. They had 6-man tags with Taz.
That sounds sick though.
Yeah.
And their finish move, total elimination, is probably one of the most underrated finishers for the tag team that I know of.
Uh, Steiner's definitely worked with both companies in the early '90s. Yeah, they did. So it was first WWF, and they went to ECW for a little bit, then the WCW, and I guess they did some New Japan Pro Wrestling in between those
Yeah,
companies. So they worked with all the major. I think Scott Steiner went to TNA, but I think Rick Steiner came back for a few matches in TNA, and I think the Steiners had a few tag matches in TNA.
yeah, you're probably right about that. I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
Obviously, the matches weren't anything worth note because Rick Steiner was getting older and Scott was older. So,
Mm.
yeah, I'm ready for the 8th episode.
I'm ready.
Uh, oh,
Hold on, I got another pop up. Damn it! This has been happening to me lately. Okay, I had it pulled up, and it just pop up comes up right when I get ready to press play. All right, I'm ready. Press and play.
okay. Uh, Davis says, where do you guys think they had their best run at? For me, WCW, where the Steiners had their best
Yeah,
run.
WCW. They have the most title reigns. I know that in WCW.
Because when I think of the Steiners, I immediately think of WCW because I used to play like a lot of the video games, and the Steiners were always on the covers and on the promotional things. Uh,
Yeah.
I thought they were TNA. It was the Steiners versus the Dudleys boys, or the Dudleys. Uh,
Mm.
I didn't know who they went against, but I knew they were in TNA at some point together. I think Scott Steiner primarily was the only one out of the two to do work with
Yeah.
TNA, but Rick Steiner came in and out a little bit. But yeah, the Steiners are one of the best tag teams of all time.
I agree, 100%.
But yeah, certain guys worked better in WWF, and certain guys worked better in WCW. Like Jericho, he was way better in WWF than he was in WCW. Uh, WCW just didn't
Yeah,
like WCW had a crowded roster that they didn't have enough space for guys like Jericho. So Jericho benefited
yeah,
from
and thing,
going.
and at the same time, when he was in WCW, you had people like Hulk Hogan and all them at the top booking, helping with the booking and getting in Vince Russo's ear, getting in Eric Bischoff's ear. So Jericho really didn't have any room to flourish. He didn't have any room because the backstage is full of prima donnas that always wanted to get their own way, and Jericho never had it. He never had a chance when it came down to it. All the old heads that are controlling shit, trying to make sure that they kept their spot. I mean, he had to go to
Yeah,
WWF. Otherwise, he was going to drown. He was never going to make it in WCW. So I feel
like
like the right choice was to go to WWF where they knew how to push him.
because before he left WCW, he had already reached his peak. They weren't going to push him any more than what he already did. Like he won a few titles in
Yeah,
WCW, but they were never going to put him in like the world title picture or even have a feud in the world title picture. Like he was always going to be a mid card guy because guys like Hogan and I mean Hogan had creative freedom, so
yeah,
If Hogan didn't want you pushed, you weren't getting pushed. It was the same thing with
yeah.
Booker T. Uh, if it wasn't
And
for
go.
like say what you want, like I know Vince Russo, he is not well liked, but if it wasn't for Vince Russo, I don't think Booker T would have became
I
WCW
agree.
World. I don't
I
think he
agree with
would have.
that.
I mean,
He was the one that wanted that to happen. So yeah, I agree.
yeah, because he was big about like getting the next like getting new stars out there. Because I mean, Hogan was washed, and they couldn't rely on Savage anymore or Luger.
And that's the
So
thing. And that's one of the reasons with Jericho, because Jericho, his main thing was he wanted to fight Goldberg, but Goldberg, being the dick that he was at the time, he didn't see Jericho as being on his level. And the thing is, they had an angle, but it never went anywhere because mainly because of Goldberg thinking that Jericho was beneath him most of the time. But and
yeah,
that was kind of one of the catalysts of Jericho wanting to leave WCW.
I remember Jericho talking about that. If you ever get the chance, go and watch his. He talks about it, and you thought Bret Hart hates Goldberg,
Oh, with a passion.
but Jericho might be second. Uh,
Uh,
Facts about Jericho. Facts same with
yeah,
Guerrero Benoit. Yeah, the same. It was the same with Guerrero and Benoit. Like once, like did Guerrero go to WCW on his own, or was it when they bought the company?
Guerrero left on his own because of the fact that Bischoff didn't see anything in him. And
Right.
Eddie talked about this too. Eddie talked about this. He felt that Eric Bischoff only saw him as a mid carder. Eric Bischoff only saw him as a gopher, somebody that would get some coffee for somebody. Because then that's a fact. That actually happened. Eric Bischoff I think he had poured coffee on Eddie at some point in time for some reason, and they really didn't like each other at all. Eric Bischoff and Eddie Guerrero, but yeah, Eric Bischoff never saw Eddie Guerrero as a superstar, but Vince McMahon did. Think about that. I mean, you say what you want about Vince McMahon, but he saw shit in people that Eric Bischoff could not see because Eric Bischoff isn't about wrestling. He's been in the wrestling business for a long time, but his bread and butter was marketing and selling you things. That was his bread and butter. That's why he was so good at selling you storylines and selling you this and selling you that because his bread and butter is marketing. He knows how to sell you on things. That's why the NWO got so huge because he was pushing it the way he was. And of course, you mean anybody could have been in those positions of NWO and it would have blew up because the concept was cool enough and Eric Bischoff was pushing it good enough. it was a cherry on top that Hulk Hogan and all them got involved in it, but the marketing genius behind it was always Eric Bischoff.
This is what I was gonna, because I knew it was Guerrero, Benoit, Malenko, and Saturn. Uh,
Yeah, they
I
all left at
knew
the same time.
I
The
knew four of them.
Radicals.
I knew four of them left, but I knew it was Benoit, Malenko. I wasn't for sure the other two were, but so
Yeah,
all of those guys. Well, Perry Saturn didn't really go anywhere. Uh, Dean Malenko didn't really go anywhere. I mean, Dean, Dean Malenko did okay but
I
mainly
think he was
Guerrero.
like a light heavyweight champion. I think they made him. And Saturn, I think he won some gold there too, but they didn't stay there that long.
I think
Benoit and Guerrero, they had the bigger careers out of all of them.
yeah, Guerrero and Benoit had the WWF pushed them the most. Um, Obviously, Guerrero won the Intercontinental title, tag titles. He won the world title. Benoit won the world title, U.S. title, tag titles. Uh, yeah, like guys like Jericho, Benoit, Guerrero, uh, all all those guys made the right decision by leaving WCW and going on over to WWF
Mm. Yeah,
because you can see how they're if they would have stayed in WCW, their careers probably wouldn't have went the way they did. Uh,
true.
Same with Jericho. So we're kicking off this episode with Virgil and Tino Santana versus Money Inc.
Now, R.I.P. Virgil, man, he was funny. That was a funny dude. He was hilarious, man. I think I told you. I think I talked about this before. But what he would do with people whenever they would come to a signing, and Virgil he'll walk up beside you. He'll be like, "Hey man, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Uh,
He's good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Hey, let's get a picture, man. Let's get a picture together. Get over. Let's get a picture together.
yeah,
He'll
I
get the
know this.
picture. Click. All right, that'll be $50. Like what the fuck? He was something else, man. He was a hustler. He was something else,
That's
man. He was a good dude, though.
that's what Bob Backlund does, or that's what he
Yeah,
did to me, or that's what he did to me. Uh, European title too. Yeah, I knew Guerrero or I think Benoit may have won
yeah.
the Europe.
Dean Malenko.
Di Malenko.
Hmm.
I know Malenko. I think a lot of his success came from WCW because when he came to
Hmm.
WWF, he was when Malenko didn't Malenko have to retire because of an injury or something?
I think so. I think it had to do with his back. I could be wrong, but I think he did have to try to do the injury, either that or his neck. Because I could be wrong, but I
Because
think he one of the most underrated technical wrestlers out there.
yeah, I'm almost done.
You can't make that tag. T- oh! Virgil got the tag. Okay, and the ref didn't see it, did he? He didn't see the tag.
Yeah,
I meant to say he didn't see the tag, so they're gonna have to.
uh,
They should have went heel. It should stole a page from the Hills playbook, like those heel tag teams. When the ref's not looking, one of them will just clap, and then they'll walk in, and the ref will turn around and be like, "Okay, let's go. He tagged. I heard him tag."
I think it was his. Yeah, I think Malenko had a lot of neck problems, and then he had to retire.
Mm,
If he didn't have to retire early, I think he probably won at least the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title and the WWE. Uh, I think Malenko could have had a bit more success. Uh,
yeah,
he definitely would have been on SmackDown with Guerrero and Benoit now. Uh, Malenko won PWI 500 top wrestler in '97. Oh wow, did not know
Oh
that.
yeah, he was incredible, man. In his day, he was the shit. And that's the thing, nobody talks about him anymore. Not as much as they used to, but I mean, there's so many underrated, wrestlers, and he's definitely one of the most underrated on the planet.
He's probably one of the best, if not the best, technical wrestlers of all time.
Man, a thousand holds.
I don't know of a technical wrestler who's better than Dean Malenko. Maybe, well, Bret Hart was a technical wrestler, wasn't he? Bret
Yeah,
Hart,
Bret Hart was technical, but he wasn't. He wasn't like
Dean
he was
Malenko.
more of a he was more of a grappler. Like he could grapple and tie you up. But yeah, Bret Hart was pretty good at technical wrestling. But I think as far as being a technical wrestler, Malenko always had it over Bret Hart, in my opinion, as far as being a technical wrestler. But if you want, you want like somebody that'll be a grappler and stuff like that. Yeah, Bret Hart can do that.
Because I know Malenko had a lot of different holds and submission
Yeah,
holds, and Money Inc. steals it.
they stole the match. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. But I think Dean Malenko is still working for WWE. I think he's either training or he's working as a producer. I could be wrong, but I think he still works for WWE at this time, at this moment.
I think Malenko was last with the AEW. I don't know if he's still there.
Oh, you're right, because I did see him on an AEW program backstage. Yeah, you could be right about that.
He might have
Probably
left.
still with AEW.
He might have left and went back to WWE. I don't know. I know he was with AEW as a producer or something. This was a few weeks. This was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
That was a good 6-man tag. Besides the few botches they did, it was
yeah, it was fun.
and Tatanka actually pinned Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you going for the teardrop?
Like this was an upset.
Yeah, I remember
I get
watching back in the day. That was a big deal. Tatanka pinning HBK.
I guess that's why because at WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels and Tatanka for the Intercontinental title.
Mm.
I guess that's how Tatanka got a title shot because he pinned the champion. Who the heck is this?
The Madel. I like
That's
that
Rick Martel.
robe though. That robe is pretty cool. I'd wear that robe around the house. So that's something that you think a rich person would wear.
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, camera guy, get right up in there. Make sure you get in there. Jeez.
Rick Martel.
The baby get mad at Billy, then I'm mad at him.
Tatanka and
Man,
Rick Martel. I guess it's Tatanka and Rick Martel next.
Todd Pettingill. Remember
If he does.
Todd, man. I think he still does radio these days. No, I think he has a podcast now. I don't know if he's doing radio still, but I know he has a podcast. He'll talk about the WWF days if you ask him about it. That's what I used to watch. I used to get up every Saturday morning and watch that. It
Okay,
was
one.
cool because there was a block of cartoons, then WWF Mania, then a couple of more cartoons, and then like golf would come on, and that's whenever you change the channel at that point.
Yeah, I think if Malenko wouldn't have had to retire early, he could have easily won the Intercontinental title or the not the
Absolutely.
WCW not the WCW US title, but the WWE US title. Uh, He'd have probably won the WWE Cruiserweight title as well. Malenko got to be top 10, 5 or 10 all time. Because like as far as
I
technical
agree.
wrestling, who is better than Dean Malenko? I can't come up with anyone that's better than him as a technical wrestler.
I mean, not from his generation. I mean, it's hard to top Malenko as far as technical wrestling that I know of.
I mean, like of all time, I mean, I feel like he's one of. I can't think of a better technical wrestler than Dean Malenko.
I know his dad was pretty good. His dad was a technical wrestler,
Yeah, I forgot about
but it makes
Benoit.
sense though. I mean,
I forgot about William Regal and Benoit.
oh, Regal is a great technical wrestler.
Kurt Angle's another good one.
Angle, you know.
Dean Malenko's definitely in the top of the like when you're talking about the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. Dean Malenko's definitely up there.
Yeah,
Uh, he's he's like easily top 5. Easily top 5.
I agree.
Who's on the phone?
That's the $1 Million Man, I think.
Oh, look.
No, it's Shawn Michaels. Oh yeah, because him and Shawn Michaels had that match. Okay, I thought it was the $1 Million Man at first.
Where did Rick Martel go? This guy's kind of. This guy can't
I'm
be.
not.
I don't think this guy's Rick Martel, is he?
No,
Because I mean, Rick Martel he was a lot more built than this guy.
they just tell the guy to come off the street. Hey, dude. Hey, you want a job? Come on, come in. Hey, put these on. Get in the ring.
Why did Rick Martel even come out then?
I have no clue. Good question, Connor. Very good question. Question of the night, right there. Why did Rick Martel come out?
He didn't do anything. Well, he came out, did his
He just
entrance,
told the girl to get out.
and then nothing happened. I thought maybe he was going against Tatanka, but I guess it was an easy W for Tatanka.
I actually got Tatanka's autograph hanging on my wall right now.
He looks like right here. He looks the exact same today. He hasn't aged at all.
Yeah. Yeah, give or take a few pounds. He looks just the same, really.
He looks like Paul Heyman.
He kind of does right there. He kind of does. I was thinking the very same thing. Yeah. You imagine Macho Man at catering? What happened to all the beef? Who ate all the beef?
For me, the greatest, Elizabeth Davis. For me, the greatest technical wrestler is Benoit or Malenko.
Yeah, I can
They're
agree with
both
that.
Malenko and Benoit were both great technical wrestlers. I believe Benoit and Malenko had they had some really good matches at WCW.
Yeah.
I
They used to
think
go
we
back and
actually
forth in WCW.
I think when we were doing our WCW reactions on the All Elite Zone, I think we actually watched a few of those matches of Benoit and Malenko.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. I'm sure we did.
I know Malenko and Eddie Guerrero had a lot of good matches in WCW.
Mm.
Benoit, my favorite. See, when I say my favorite, I want to say Benoit because a lot of people don't consider him one of the greats because of what he did. But when you look at his career,
You got to look at his career, exactly.
when you look at his career, He's one of the greatest of all time. I mean,
Yeah.
he he was one of the guys that he probably would have wrestled till he was 50 or 60 years old. He was probably going to wrestle like if he was still alive today, he'd still be contributing in the wrestling some way or another. Uh, he had a wrestling passion that not many have. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I wish his son would wrestle. What's his son's name? David
Chris. I mean, not
David
Chris. David. Yeah. I don't know why I said
David
Chris.
Benoit. Uh, that's his second son. That by his another wife, I guess. That's still alive. He looks
Hmm.
exactly like him.
Yeah.
Got to check out Malenko. Yeah,
I
Malenko,
have seen that match. I've seen that match.
Malenko and Guerrero. I knew they both were in ECW as well. See, that's what. See, like
Yeah. Man, go out of your way to check that out, man. That is a good match.
that's another thing that WCW did. They took all of ECW's wrestlers. They took Brian Pillman for a little bit. They took
Hmm.
Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Liger. They took Malenko, Benoit. Like WCW pretty much took all of ECW's talent. Uh, they didn't get a few of them. They didn't get Taz or Dreamer or Raven or RVD or Sabu, but they got like I think every cruiserweight in ECW, WCW got. Uh,
No, Sabu was in WCW for a time. Not that long,
he
but he did go to WCW. In fact, him and Paul Heyman had a. That's one of the reasons why they had a falling out, because Sabu went to WCW.
didn't. Well, I think he got fired, didn't he? In
I think he
WCW,
no showed. Yeah, I think
yeah,
he no showed because I know he no showed Paul Heyman, and that's whenever he did a WCW show. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not sure if he no showed WCW, but I know that him and Paul Heyman they've had a falling out because he went to WCW without any knowledge, without giving any heads up to Paul Heyman. Yeah,
uh, they took Jericho, Psychosis, Sabu,
in one swoop, just
and
like that.
and then like in '96 and '97, they took even more. They took Guerrero, they took Benoit, they took Rey Mysterio. Uh, they
Yeah,
took
I
a
mean
lot of.
he stole that out of Vince McMahon's playbook. He went to different promotions and took their best talent they had, and the talent that they weren't using that was really good. They took, you know.
See, what a lot of them did was they went from ECW to WCW. Then some of them, like Jericho, Benoit, Guerrero, they went from ECW to WCW to WWF. Uh,
Yeah, and at the same time, I really can't blame them because a lot of them they had families, they had kids, they had to feed. They had families to feed. And Eric Bischoff comes to you with the multi-million-dollar check, and says you're gonna be making this per year. You're gonna be like, you know what? I can see my kids, eating well. I can see my family being under a nice roof. You know what? I'll take it. I don't you can't blame them. You can't blame people for switching up because they want to take care of their own.
yeah, because ECW they couldn't pay them just anything because ECW was
Right.
they were how would I say it? They were I wouldn't say they were like indie. Um, what kind of? Because they didn't really sign. Well,
They're like a
they did
hybrid of.
because they did sign contracts to people.
Yeah.
Uh, they weren't willing to pay people like millions and millions of dollars. Like they couldn't like they couldn't match any offer from WCW or ECW from WCW and WWF. They couldn't match their offers
Right.
because they weren't bringing in the money to pay to match those offers. So Papa Shango,
Papa Shango. He's been a part of some of the coolest storylines though. Papa Shango's probably one of the most underrated characters that they had in WWF. because he was always like on paper he was like one of the darkest characters next to Undertaker.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, WCW took a lot of ECW guys. They took
Yeah,
about their entire. I think they took about their entire cruiserweight division because ECW had a cruiserweight division.
yeah. They went to court
W,
over that stuff. Really?
the WCW took their entire cruiserweight division, um, which it benefited WCW in the long run because
True.
WCW made high flying wrestling a mainstream thing because it was done in like Mexico and Japan, but it wasn't really
Yeah,
known in America. So when Eric Bischoff brought all those guys to WCW, he made high flying wrestling uh, a larger appeal to more fans that had never seen it before.
that's true.
Yeah, Public Enemy was really good. We've I think when we were doing our WCW reactions, Public Enemy, uh, they did. We seen was it them and the Nasty Boys? I believe that we saw in those
Yeah,
matches. Yeah, Public Enemy is a really
yeah.
good
It was
tag.
a hardcore match.
Yeah, and another thing. When ECW made hardcore kind of popular, then once they made it popular, WCW and WWF copied
Yeah,
ECW and then started doing their own hardcore stuff.
that's true. I mean, think about it like this. I mean, if it wasn't for ECW having their revolution, then the WWF would have never had the attitude. You know what I mean? It's the
Oh,
same thing, but Vince McMahon took it and kind of it's like it's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It's the same thing, same sugar water, just different ingredients. You know what I mean?
he basically took what ECW was doing and incorporated it into his own product. But WCW did as well because
Yeah,
WCW created a hardcore title and WWF created a hardcore title. So
yeah.
once ECW started doing it, then the two bigger companies decided, well, since they're doing it, let's put this on a larger scale. So ECW basically was given free. ECW was basically giving free ideas to the bigger companies.
But at the same time, a lot of people don't know this. At the same time, towards the end, Vince McMahon was funding a lot of ECW's pay-per-views and a lot of their shows, live shows that they did. Vince McMahon was giving Paul Heyman money to fit the bill for it all, and at the same time getting talent exchange too. And and the thing is, the only reason why Vince was really doing that was to get a hold of number one, he wants to get a hold of the talent. Number two, he wanted to get a hold of the library, and if he can get a hold of all that, he can get a hold of the whole company, which is eventually what he ended up doing.
Yeah, I remember that. It first started off kind of small, but they had, I think, a lot of ECW guys on Monday Night Raw. They showed up on Monday Night Raw. Um,
Yeah, it's gonna come up soon in the coming episodes. It's gonna be eventually.
then
It's
Jerry
actually a pretty
Lawler,
cool you know.
and then Jerry Lawler goes over to ECW. He gets booed out,
Yeah, and
and
that
then
was a pretty good moment too. That was cool.
I think Jerry Lawler showed up first, and then ECW invaded WWF. Uh,
I
it
think
wasn't
so.
a it wasn't a long feud, but it was a pretty fun,
Mhm.
especially like in the '90s. Like it was kind of cool to see WWF and ECW working together.
It was awesome. And that's the
And
thing. A lot of people didn't know that Vince McMahon was kind of a silent investor with ECW for a long time.
yeah, because they did their first pay per view because of Vince, I believe.
Right.
Uh,
He paid for he paid for some of it.
because for a while ECW was just a weekly show, but they never had a like pay per view. Uh,
Right.
and they finally did their big pay per view, and I think that was a little bit after their WWF because it kind of helped both companies. Well, looking back at it now, it only helped WWE, but back then it kind of helped get more eyeballs
Mm-hmm.
on the ECW. So any fans that were watching,
Right.
like like when all the ECW guys came over to WWF, uh, anyone that wasn't an ECW fan, they're like, "Who are these guys?" And then it could possibly create new ECW fans to go over and watch ECW. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, that didn't work out in the long run uh, because WWF ended up buying them out. But
Which
in
is,
real
in
time,
my
that would have
opinion,
been
man.
that was probably.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You finish.
I was gonna say, like in real time, that was probably Paul Heyman's. That was probably his mindset that if
Yeah.
we do this WWF partnership, we can get some more eyeballs on our product. Uh, but that's not how it. I'm pretty sure they got some new fans from that, but it didn't.
I'm sure they did.
It wasn't anything to keep the company in business because they went out of business. So
True.
who the heck is this dude? I know this Bob Backlund, but is he in his underwear or his boxers?
I don't know. They just took. That's what I'm saying, dude. A lot of these jobbers look like they just got just like taken out of the gym. Like, hey, dude, you want a job? Let's go.
They just
You'll be
picked him up.
perfect.
They just picked him up at the gym. And said, "Hey, you want to be on TV tonight?"
You need a job, man? Yeah. Hey, we paying. All you gotta do is lose, bro.
Because like, those he just looks like boxers. Like he just wearing underwear or something. Like you can notice the difference between wrestling tights and underwear, and those don't look like wrestling tights. Those look like actual what you would wear to bed. Maybe they aren't, but he doesn't even look. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. I mean, he's built, but Bob Backlund, chicken wing.
Yeah, he does look green. He doesn't look like he knows too much what he's doing. And they throw him in the ring with
What is
Bob
this?
Backlund. Yeah. Butterflies,
That dude sucked.
suplex.
I don't know who that jobber guy was, but hey, there was a guy with the ECW shirt
Oh,
on.
nice. Oh, nice. That was okay. He hooked the head so he couldn't kick out. He
Rick Martel. I don't get it. I don't get what they're doing with. So he came out. He didn't do
I don't
anything.
either.
There's a Paul Heyman. He
I am not there. You have no class. You're not there like me. You have not been around the world like moi. Actually, Rick the model Martel is probably one of the most underrated characters as well. I thought he was always a cool character. And he was damn good wrestler too.
the
I don't have
uh,
time for this. I have to have a match.
Davis says, yeah, ECW was really what helped. If you think about it, ECW gave WWF a push uh, because ECW helped WWF incorporate new things into their product. Uh, because, like Mr. Jacobs was saying, I feel like ECW kind of started the attitude in wrestling, and that's how the attitude era was kind of born in WWF. they took the hardcore from ECW and they took the realness in it and the like the show's called Raw and it should be raw, like it should be like this like the storylines shouldn't feel so cartoonish. They should feel like real
True.
life, and that's what they did. Uh, they incorporated like a lot of hardcore stuff from ECW and just the seriousness in the product. So if you think about it, ECW really did help WWF win the Monday Night
Hmm.
Wars to a degree. Uh, if it wasn't for Stone Cold and The Rock and all them, they probably wouldn't have won.
True. Mm. Yeah. Mm. I didn't know about Tell's music. Different.
Yeah, so we got Rick Martel and Mr. Perfect. I'm guessing this is the main event. Yeah, this is probably the main event for this episode.
I think so. I think am I on a delay? I'm not sure if I'm delayed or not.
I think you might be a little bit. I'm not maybe a little.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go out and come back in because it seems like it's on a delay from my end.
Uh, uh, sorry with everyone. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. It it happens to me a lot, so definitely no. Yeah, he'll be back. But anyone watching, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. We do these live reactions for Raw every Thursday and Saturday. We did them yesterday for Wednesday because we missed uh, this last weekend because of 4th of July. We didn't do anything over the 4th of July weekend. So um, definitely join us on Thursdays and Saturdays. We started from 1993, like the very first episode of Raw, and we've made our way to the eighth episode. So like we're basically going to watch the entire episodic uh, thing of Raw. But like one thing I can't wait to see is like the different eras we get into because we're in kind of like the pre New Generation era. Like the New Generation era is fixing to explode. Uh, there's the New Generation era, then there's the Attitude era, then there's the Ruthless Aggression, well, the Invasion kind of era, then the Ruthless Aggression era. But yeah, these live reactions have been really fun. It's been really fun to go back and watch all these old Raw episodes. Uh, a lot of nostalgia with like the setup here and the stage and kind of like the neon WWF logo they had. That was always really cool. The setup is always classic. This is like the Manhattan Center. This is where they would do Raw every week. So, and I bet it was fun to live during this time because if you lived in Manhattan, you could go to Raw every Monday if you wanted to. I'm never sure how much tickets were back then for Raw every Monday, but uh, those days prices were cheaper, but they were high at the same time. These days, what looks cheaper back then is high, or like what looks cheaper back then is cheap to us now. like $35 for a front row seat. It's cheap today, but back then it was probably steep. But oh, there goes my two.
All right, that's my sound. Am my sound okay?
Yeah, you're sounding okay.
All right, good. I don't know why I had a sudden delay there.
Uh, Ring Martel versus Mr. Perfect was a good match. Yeah, so far it's been a pretty good match. But yeah, if anyone hasn't subscribed already, definitely subscribe down below. We we'll be doing these every Thursdays and Saturdays. Oh, that was a good.
Hit that like button while you're at it.
Yeah, definitely like, subscribe, turn on the notification bells. That was a good
Oh,
gut wrench suplex. Oh, that was a he smacked him still. Now, Mr. Perfect he can slap someone.
yeah.
During the match with you remember the match? It was Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect. Uh,
Hmm.
like whoever leaves Raw. Mr. Perfect
Yeah,
slapped the heck out of Ric Flair.
that was funny. He slapped the taste out of his mouth.
Like Mr. Perfect, like this is twice now, in like singles matches that he just slaps the heck out of someone. I'm not talking about like a little touch on the face, like
he knocks he knocks spit out of him.
do y'all watch a? I used to watch it. We actually this is a sister channel actually. Our main channel
Hmm.
was the All Elite Zone. Definitely go subscribe to that channel if y'all haven't. The All Elite Zone. Uh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's where you can catch all the interviews we did.
Yeah, that's where all of our well we had two of them on here, but all of our interviews
Hmm.
are on that channel. We did interviews with Sabu, with Blue Meanie, with uh, who else? We had Matt Taven on one time. We had Alex Shelley, Buddy Matthews. We had
Hmm.
uh,
Ahmed Johnson.
yeah, Alman Johnson. We had the Pope on. A lot of different people. Uh, but I used to watch AEW. I used to watch it every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But I kind of got out
Hmm.
of AEW for a while. I don't know. I might try to maybe one Wednesday we can do a dynamite reaction. I don't know.
I
Uh,
did watch Double or Nothing, the last one. I think it was Double or Nothing, the last pay per view. That it was actually pretty damn good. And I watch AEW when I have the time because usually Wednesday nights get pretty busy for me. But like here lately, I've actually been having more time on Wednesday nights. So I mean, eventually I'll catch back up with AEW. But yeah, I still watch the pay-per-views. The pay-per-views are still pretty dope. The shows can be a little iffy, but the pay-per-views are pretty damn good.
AEW pay-per-views. Yeah, AEW normally has some pretty good pay-per-views. Uh, yeah,
No,
Forbidden
the last
Door.
one was Forbidden Door. So I seen the one before Forbidden Door, which was Double or Nothing. I think that's the one I watched last.
Mr. Perfect gets to win. That suplex that he does, like he does super quick. Like he takes that one step and bam.
Yeah, I like that. Nobody can ever do it like him, man. Nobody ever has.
No,
That I think
no,
that I think that patented perfect plex kind of died with him.
I don't think I've seen anyone do it. He takes that one step and I don't think like you gotta be very very quick to do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to watch.
We slamming WrestleMania.
So like even though I don't watch AW anymore like I used to, my room I have like 150 AEW figures. I
Yeah.
I, I have
We love AEW. I love AEW. I just gotta find the time to watch it.
I used to watch it. I mean, I don't really watch any of the current wrestling anymore. Um, with both companies, WWE and AEW,
Mhm.
I don't really like the modern product anymore. Uh,
No, that makes sense. I mean, that's fair.
I feel like wrestling's up and down nowadays. Where back in these days, like in the '90s and the early 2000s, like it was always must see TV. Uh,
Yeah, it's more
but this
corporate
week,
these days, if anything.
of both companies, like it's just so up and down. Like
Yeah, I
uh,
agree. I agree with you. The landscape these days is more corporate than anything when it comes to pro wrestling. It's more corporate and business like these
there's still
days
some
than pro wrestling.
there's definitely good wrestlers still out there. Like
Yeah.
uh, I like a lot of wrestlers in AEW and WWE. But yeah, um, Mercedes Monet versus my world top five best. That sounds pretty good. I know Mercedes just came back uh,
Hmm.
recently. But yeah, that was pretty much it for episode 8. I think I would have to say I feel like it's the same thing like last night. Last night we did 5 and 6, and I thought 5 was better than 6. Well, I'm gonna
Hmm.
have to say that episode 7 was better than I thought. Episode 7 was better than episode 8. Uh, I guess every time we watch, the first episode that we watch is always better than the second episode. Uh,
Yeah.
but both episodes were very enjoyable. Uh, I really loved. I think the best match, like through both episodes, the best match by far was Bret Hart and Fatu. That was easily the best match out of
Yeah, that was good.
both episodes. The stuff with Doink the Clown was pretty funny. Uh, I don't really understand what they were doing with Rick Martel. I mean, it led towards a match because the main event was in the last episode was Mr. Perfect and Rick Martel, but he came out, then he left, then he came out again, then he left, then he was the main event. So I don't know.
I I guess that was the point to kind of remind the audience that he's gonna, or because at that point, I guess they were just kind of organically making the main event because he
Yeah,
kept on doing all this, and then Mr. Perfect's like, all right, that's it, I'm gonna shut you up, and it
yeah.
worked.
I guess kind of leaving people hanging for, but we
Right?
never got now. Now that both episodes are over, we never got to see the ending of that Undertaker main event.
No, they never came back to it, bro. They never came back to it.
They just forgot
Never.
about it.
At least WCW would give you highlights of what happened. WWF is
We,
like, nah, fuck, it doesn't matter.
we didn't see nothing. Like who did he go
Wow.
against? It was the Undertaker, and it wasn't nobody big. Uh,
I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look.
I don't remember, but we don't see nothing. They said stay tuned next week, and we'll show you what happens. We didn't see none of it, or
And they
not unless it
never
was cut,
did.
not unless it was cut from the episode, which I highly doubt. But maybe
That's
they showed it.
incredible.
Maybe they showed it on like WWF Mania. They just showed it there.
I
Maybe
think they did. They probably ended up showing it on Mania. If because I don't know, I'll probably have to do a little research, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because anything like that will probably end up on WWF Mania on Saturday mornings, and they'll show you what happens. Probably that's probably what happened.
yeah, I thought both episodes were highly enjoyable. Um,
Yeah.
what did you think about both episodes?
I enjoyed them both. They were fun. And like I said yesterday, I mean, I love going back and watching these older episodes and kind of looking at them through an adult eye lens, because I remember watching them as an 8-year-old kid, growing up and when they were live on TV, and I was watching the episodes every week like everybody else as a kid. It's fun to go back and watch these and rewatch them and kind of go back and kind of rediscover some things that you probably didn't notice as a kid or look at different things differently. It's fun. And yeah, I definitely think that the Fatu and Bret Hart match probably the best out of them all. I really enjoyed that match, and it was better than it had any right to be, honestly speaking. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm loving this retro replay we're doing here. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I thought the same. The best match by far was Bret Hart and Fatu, and I never thought a match between them two wrestlers would be that good because Bret Hart and
Mm,
Fatu, who is Rikishi, uh,
yeah.
very different styles. That would be like putting Will Ospreay and William Regal in the ring. Two different styles,
Mm,
but they had a good match. Find that interesting. The
yeah.
Steiners look great. The Steiners look great. Of course, they built on Hogan and Beefcake versus Money Inc. WrestleMania. They built on that still. Uh, I don't think Hogan and Beefcake was actually on the shows though. I think they showed like that little video package, but they didn't show them on the show. Uh,
No, I don't think so.
I know Money Inc. had a tag team match against those two jobber dudes. Yeah, it was a pretty. Both were pretty decent episodes. Highly enjoyable. And like Mr. Jacob said, it's fun to go back and watch all these episodes of these past episodes that personally for me I wasn't born until 2001, so I didn't watch any of these live. But
Hmm.
I have watched a lot of these episodes in years past because as a wrestling fan, I've watched pretty much everything from old WCW, ECW. I've A lot of people don't think I know the stuff that I know. I've watched I've sat down and watched Bruno Sammartino matches, Don Morocco matches. Like I've watched everything. Uh, but yeah, it's been fun to watch all this stuff, and we will be back Saturday to watch episodes 9 and 10, and then we'll be on WrestleMania pretty soon, and we'll be doing a WrestleMania live reaction. The one from Caesars, I'm not sure what number it is. Uh, what WrestleMania number, but it's in Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace. Uh,
Hmm.
Everyone knows what happens on that WrestleMania. Hogan and Bret Hart and Yokozuna and all that. But we will be doing a live reaction to that WrestleMania once we get on that. We'll be doing all these Raws, and once we get on a pay per view, we'll watch the pay per view as well. They kind of go in order, everything. Uh, but yeah, definitely subscribe if you guys haven't already. Uh, as I said, we do these live reactions every Thursday and Saturday. These retro Raw episodes. We're going to be going through. I don't know how far we'll go, but uh, yeah, we're going to be going a long ways through Raw, and we're going to try to line them up with WCW to do a Monday Night Wars live reaction to watch both shows simultaneously, and then we can say which show had the better show, the Nitro or the Raw. So
Hmm.
that that's why I wanted to do these was so we can actually do that and compare the two.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, look at these last two comments. Definitely more corporate. Yeah, it's a lot more, especially
Mm,
WWE. They've
yeah.
I don't even, lots of times I feel like TKO tries they're wanting to make WWE like UFC in a way. They want
Mm,
to they want to have all the advertisements on the ring. They want to outprice fans. They want to
yeah.
like they're taking the UFC model and applying it to WWE, but that doesn't work. I mean, it might work in UFC, but you can't really use a UFC format in the WWE. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, wrestling today is definitely a lot different. Riley, thanks for watching. We definitely appreciate everyone who watched. We had a pretty good engagement in the live chat, so we definitely appreciate all of you who watched tonight. Definitely, probably the best chat engagement we've had since starting these Raw episodes. Uh,
Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Thank y'all, man. Thank you for hanging out with us.
yes, thank you guys for watching these. Just talking with us about wrestling topics. We always appreciate you guys uh, coming in and chatting with us about wrestling or whatever we're watching. Uh, but yeah, we'll be back Saturday for our next live reaction of Raw. Uh, as I said, we'll be on episodes 9 and 10 of 1993. Uh, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our links in the description below. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Definitely check out Mr. Jacob's Twitch channel. Mr. Jacob is also on YouTube. I haven't put that link in the description yet. I thought I did, but I will update it. I'll update the links to have everything in there. But yeah, definitely check out Mr. Jacob's Twitch and YouTube channel. Subscribe here. Check out our Facebook and Twitter channels. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah, we will see you guys Saturday.
Yeah. Peace.